What's going on, family? It is that time again, raw and real with this dude.
What's up, family? Hope and pray everybody's doing well. Hey, I think we got a special guest in town tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
out there.
I was up there earlier today. I said, let me get out of here.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's what we're going to do, a little something different, because Beyonce can't be the only people that
there it is.
doing it big in the city.
Hope everybody's having a safe time, or by the time you see this, that you had a great experience. Let's do it.
Let's make it happen. So, as we've been doing, man, this sermon series has been off the charts. For anybody who has not had an opportunity to check this out, you got to make sure you get to the app, check this series out. But this last week, man, we actually it was communion. We had an amazing thing happen after service. So I just kind of sometimes I like to just kind of step away from the main topic and talk about how these sermon series are supposed to be impacting people's lives. So let's walk through that process again about how we're going to have this new season, this new chapter, and what we should expect here.
It's one thing, I think for any preacher to hear from the Lord as it relates to what God would have you to say in this moment. But when you start to see the impact that it's having on individuals, that just changed everything. You know what I mean? That keeps you going. And in this particular series, been seeing just that. This past Sunday, I had one of our dynamic college students, after worship was over, everything was shut down, decide that she wanted to be baptized, not tomorrow, not next week,
right,
but right there in the moment. And shout out to everybody just being like, forget whatever we had planned. We're gonna honor this moment, and it was just it was incredible. The musicians, did their thing, and media and everybody, and just the presence of the Lord was in that moment. And we just believe as she prepares to go back to school that the next chapter will be the best chapter for her. Even had a brother that I hadn't met before, and said he'd been following the ministry since its inception. And he just talked about how some of the sermons recently and even beforehand kind of helped him go through a divorce. And his mother was there. It was like, that's what God has been saying. It's kind of been helping them. So, man, that's what it's all about. It's never about, an individual. It's never about, anything crazy. But what you pray for is what's happening. You know what I mean? Right. And I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
Well, and this is the thing that I love about what God does sometimes. Because even in our past couple of Raw and Reels, we were talking about how, the next chapter may not be, right around the corner. The next chapter might not be this. That next chapter for her was right after service.
After service.
That means we don't always have to sit back and be like, maybe it's going to take a year, a month. That happened right away. And we still serve a God who does just that. Sometimes he can say, you know what, you've been waiting on this next chapter.
You've been in this place long enough.
It's over. We're going to do this right now.
We're going to do this right now.
That's the kind of God we serve. That's good news.
That's great news, man. God, I tell you what, man. And that's worth the price of admission, as they can say. So we're just really thankful, man, about what God is doing, and kind of segue into a little bit to what we talked about, on Sunday. That at the end of the day, even when you're going through difficult times, it's worth the wait. You know what I mean? And just want to encourage people that because God can move at any given moment, don't give up, because the moment you give up could have been that moment right before God was about to move. And we always got to understand that there's a reason why God has us waiting, and more often than not is because He's preparing us, and He's preparing something on the other side. So fam, don't give up in the moment when He is waiting on you, wherever you may be. Don't give up, because He's about to do something crazy just for you. Oh yeah.
I love it. Right. Wherever you may be.
Wherever you may be. That's it.
Hey, so wherever you may be, look, we want to make sure that the people have an opportunity to reach out and talk to you, man. This is an exciting time. And the great thing about it is we're still at this place where we have a pastor who still likes to hear from people.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my baby, we always look at this thing where they talk about, well, like, at the mega church here, Daddy God has a.
He say Daddy God.
Daddy God. Yeah. But we still actually, we still small enough that you can still reach out to Pastor Walt.
I saw a meme the other day that it cracked me up. It said, youth pastor today, bishop tomorrow, and vice Jesus next week.
Where they do that at? That is wild. Anyway, we get how can the people reach out and catch up with not Vice Jesus, but just regular Pastor Walt?
Just good old fashioned Pastor Walt. W. Bowers at chosencitychurch.com. W. Bowers at chosencitychurch.com. Always good to hear from your family. Love you, mean it, and appreciate you guys always connecting with us this way.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, family, this has been a lot of fun. We might have to stick around with this couch thing, man. It's a little bit.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. It's a whole vibe. So,
so we had the big producer in here today, so we had that.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the professional producer in the house that made Maddie happen. We appreciate you.
Right. All right, family. We see y'all next week.
Take care. Yeah.
Peace.